Are you going to Paris for 48 hours and do not know where to start with your itinerary? Then you have come to the right place. Bonjour, je m'appelle Lewis, you are watching Lost in Travel and welcome on here to Paris. Welcome to the next part of my Interrailing adventure everyone, previously on Lost in Travel. Before we begin exploring the city of love, last time you saw me I said goodbye to my home and family.
An amazing time.
Thank you very much. And I'll call you 5 times a day. Got the train down to London, marvelling at its blend of modern and old architecture, while taking in my first sunset of the next 62 days. Then I activated my EU Rail Pass and went under the English Channel on the Eurostar, arriving in Paris, the first of many new destinations I will be seeing this summer. In today's vlog, I will go full tourist mode, sightseeing, eating and photographing almost everything that the capital of France has to offer. From jaw-dropping views atop the Eiffel Tower. This is the way to properly appreciate the inner workings and the construction of the Eiffel Tower, to the stunning gardens of the Palace of Versailles. When you think of a traditional French Renaissance garden, I think this is the one you'd think of. To the tranquil cobbled streets of Montmartre. So good morning everyone, welcome on here to, I would say, one of the most photographic areas in the entirety of Paris. I don't leave a single bit of Paris undiscovered. Here is your complete guide to 48 hours in Paris.
I've got a minute on Tuesday. Could I stop in and see you smile? If you don't have lunch plans, I'm not busy. I could stop by for a bite in a while.
So welcome on here guys to episode 2 of my Interrailing trip, and we are back here for another luscious day in the city of Paris. This is my second day in the city, it could be my first full day, and I cannot wait to show you all around because what I've seen from Paris so far, it is très bien. Okay, let's not do that ever again. But I am out here at the Trocadero Gardens, and these gardens are magnificent, and more for one reason only, and that's the view you get from here to the Eiffel Tower. It is spectacular, it's very grand. Okay, let's just stop doing those impressions. But we're here and I am getting my first photo shoot of the Eiffel Tower right here, right now. So come along and join me. So you probably recognise this spot very well because of the stairs that lead down to the Eiffel Tower. It's a spectacular photography spot, and it's just because there's so many different ways you can frame yourself, and this is why it's literally just me surrounded by loads of people in suits and wedding dresses. I feel like I'm kind of interrupting, but you know, the Eiffel Tower is for everyone, and this, like, just look at it. Look at it. What a view. I was not kidding you on. Someone even brought their dog. But please guys, heed my warning if you are wanting to come and take photos at this very spot of the Eiffel Tower, to make sure you come super early. I've been here for about maybe 40 minutes now, and it's only 8 AM currently, so you can tell how early I came out here to get the shots I wanted. I came out here yesterday, well, I never really came to this exact spot, but I walked past it and I was like, oh my god. The amount of people I saw on those stairs, my tripod wouldn't stand a chance. So that's why I came out here quite early in the morning, so I can get the view that I wanted of the Eiffel Tower and me in it, and not having to worry about my tripod falling over or getting stolen, or just loads and loads of people in my way, because, you know, Photoshop is a tedious task.
View from this window, the flowers hung in boxes everywhere. When I told you that I needed someplace to go, you said, Paris, love, I'm taking you there.
Alright, so I'm now here at the second photo spot that I want to take you guys to, and it is called Avenue de... Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, I was about to attempt it, but I'm just going to butcher it, and it's all too early in the video to start butchering pronunciations. That's for people who stay for the entirety. That's a little treat near the end, but this one I would actually consider probably the most underrated of the viewpoints here of the Eiffel Tower. I don't actually think many people know about this, considering how long it took me to figure out what street this was. I just seen the photo and I was like, I need that shot, and it took me ages to Google it and try to actually figure out that this is the spot. So I'm actually going to include it on Google Maps right here. This is the spot that you guys are going to come to, and now welcome on here to the final photo spot of the Eiffel Tower that I wanted to take you to this morning. We're here at, sorry, I'm looking at the sign here, Rue de l'Université. I think it's called University Street, and this also provides incredible views up the Eiffel Tower, but you do have to try to point the camera down low because it is so large. I didn't realise actually how large the Eiffel Tower was until I made it here yesterday. The contrast between right now to yesterday during the day, unbelievable. So a word of note to all of you guys wanting to come and visit Paris and take loads and loads of amazing photos, as you should, definitely wake up early, come out before all the crowds wake up, because you are in for a treat. It is rightly called the City of Light, and it is for perfect reason, and you've got to try to catch the best light by coming out for around sunrise time.
A place that makes you wanna stay, and I think the city might be broken-hearted, but when I'm with you, my troubles far away. With you by my side, there's nothing else I want. The view is alright in Paris or wherever we are.
So my idea has already proven useful for your perfect itinerary here in Paris. I got myself the City Pass, which, if you remember on my New York vlogs, I also got it there, and it helped out substantially. Like, some of the individual prices of the tickets were remarkable. So being able to use a City Pass does definitely give you a bigger discount. And I was thinking the same with Paris. Paris is quite an expensive city, as I've heard and as I've now experienced. So being able to get a City Pass for 2 days, for today and tomorrow, is definitely helping me out a lot. A lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing today is including the City Pass, including my breakfast and my lunch. Today for breakfast I went to the Café Louise and I had a proper Parisian breakfast. Croissant, orange juice, hot chocolate. It included so much. So I definitely suggest, if you're going to get the City Pass, use it for your food, use it for the experiences, and overall just try to get the most out of the pass, because I am saving so much money using that. Alright, next up on the to-do list, I am about to walk up the 600 something steps to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Wait, what? I can't believe that right now I'm literally just walking up the Eiffel Tower. That iconic building, like that you see in postcards, memorials, teacups, everything. I'm in the middle of that. This is the way to properly appreciate the inner workings and the construction of the Eiffel Tower, is just to actually see it from the inside and see all the work. Like, I can't believe that, like, people literally made these probably back in the day without any harnesses on, and they just created this amazing famous landmark that I would say the whole of France is most recognisable for. So currently I am only here on the first floor, and already the views from the Eiffel Tower are looking magnificent. That's because this is obviously the largest building here in Paris, and one of the most recognisable for sure. And that's because, like, when you look at some of the largest buildings in each country, a lot of them are just skyscrapers. The Burj Khalifa once mentioned, all the ones I saw in Asia, proper mighty skyscrapers. But when you see Paris's tallest building, and it is this unique tower, like, it just gives you more desire to be up here. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the view is up from the second floor, because right now I can only see Notre Dame, I can only see the Pantheon. The view of Paris is so flat and so easy just to see miles out. It is great. So I have now returned from my trek up to the very top of what once was the largest building in the world when it was constructed back in the day. And he kept, my tour guide kept on calling it an ugly monster. That is what it used to be referred to. The city of Paris did not want it here, but Gustave Eiffel built it. He got the budget for it, but then the budget finally ran out and he was told that it was actually going to get knocked down at the end of his 20-year contract or whatever. And the way he got about stopping it from getting knocked down was he actually built an antenna right at the very top of this tower, and that was actually used in World War I for the radio signals towards different governments and army bases and whatnot. So by providing some use to this random piece of junk, I guess he managed to keep it relevant and his legacy going on forever. And I'm going to say I had an amazing time up at the second floor. The sights that you get up the top of there, because Paris is so flat, you can see it for miles. I saw Notre Dame, the Pantheon, all the way over the River Seine. It was it's been a beautiful day, guys. It is like 22 degrees, summer is finally upon us once again, and I loved going up the top of that. So I definitely recommend going to the Eiffel Tower and just getting that amazing view, that illustrious view from the top of one of the biggest landmarks in the world. So I'm now currently in the Notre Dame region of Paris, and it is lunchtime. So I used the city pass once again, and I went to, oh god, I'm going to pronounce something again, the Eau Châtelet, which I can't believe this is actually included in the city pass, but I got myself a croque de monsieur, which is what I'm going to call an upside down cheese toastie. It's just the cheese on the other side. There's also ham inside that. I got some lovely fries, and I had a lovely rosy champagne. You know, when in Paris, you better treat yourself. So next up is the Pantheon, and this is definitely one of the coolest buildings here in the entirety of the capital of France. And I wasn't expecting. I was just walking down the street. I knew this was what I was going to come see, but then I just turned the alleyway, and this was the view I had. This is huge. I didn't expect it to be as big as it actually is, and I feel like I've said that a lot about the buildings here in Paris. If I had to describe what Paris feels like, I would say it's grand. That's the word I would use to describe it. It's grand, it's rich in architecture, and every street will just make your jaw drop.
And all I've hoped and dreamed and wanted this life, you were my adventure, my guiding light.
Pantheon is exciting me a lot in this area of the city, because every other building around it is just as extraordinary in its own right. Wow, I can spend a long time here just taking photos of everything. So the final spot on today's itinerary was to come and see the infamous Notre Dame Cathedral. I would actually probably say it's probably the most remarkable cathedral in all of Europe, definitely, maybe even the world. If you have not been living under a rock, you probably know that a couple of years ago it kind of burnt down a bit, and the renovations have been going on for quite a while now. But good news, it's set to open next year. Bad news, I'm here today. But I guess it just gives me a reason to come back. I've got some funny news anyway on that, me trying to find Notre Dame. So I got off the metro, I came over here, and I was like, why is there so many people just sitting these steps? It looked like Times Square. And I was like, there's like literally nothing there. And I just walked over to see what they were all looking at, and there was Notre Dame. So I am a buffoon sometimes, but this is a great way to end off what has been quite a tiring day, but definitely one of my favourite days out doing city break sightseeing, because Paris, you're so photogenic. Good morning everyone, welcome on here to, I would say, one of the most photographic areas in the entirety of Paris. I'm here in Montmartre, which is spectacular because Paris is a very flat city. I have came to realise that when I was up the Eiffel Tower yesterday, and I could see for miles, literally for miles. Well, this is the only hill in the entirety of Paris, so it offers sublime views. But not only that, it's got some of the quaintest cafes. I've just spent my morning in one. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm going to put it in the video when I edit this. And I had traditional macarons here in Paris with a lovely hot chocolate to start my day off. Despite me still being in Paris for one more day, it feels like I have left a little bit early, as Montmartre feels like it's a completely different village. It doesn't feel like it's in Paris. I feel like I have moved out off the big city, the hustle and bustle of the capital of France, and moved into one of the more quaint, quieter towns. But no, I'm still in Paris, and it is exceptional.
To be kind than to always be right. To love is so divine if we run to the light. It shines on our names that we bleed just the same. It's better to be kind than to
Alright, so I'm next going to
always
show you guys one of the half-day trips you can do outside of Paris. If you want to escape the hustle and bustle, I think this is going to be one of the best things that you can get yourself out of Paris and come and see, and still be able to go back and have dinner in the capital. So come along. So welcome on here, guys, to the Palace of Versailles. Wow. I can't believe I'm actually standing in the grounds of the Palace of Versailles right now. If you do not know, this is where the Treaty of Versailles was signed, which also, if you don't know, that is basically the signature of World War II getting officially declared over. After a quick look at the magnificent Renaissance corridors and rooms that made up the inside of this grand palace, you can't think it can get better than this. That is until you step foot into the gardens. Have I made you want to visit yet? Then I should probably tell you how to get out to Versailles. So, this is the way I done it at least. I got the train from Paris Montmartre train station, and of course with my Interrail pass, I'm allowed on it. And that got me here in probably about 15 minutes. It is definitely not far away. It's like just a nearby town. This place has so much historic significance, so I definitely recommend coming out here. I've spent about 3 hours probably in total on this adventure out to Versailles, and it's just nice to be able to leave the hustle and bustle of Paris and come out to one of the most substantial buildings in all of history.
Sky is falling, I'm falling too. If you had the time, I'd love to ask you, do you read just for the hell of it? And remind you try to settle it from all the ways the world tries to bring you.
When you think of a traditional French Renaissance garden, I think this is the one you'd think of. Just long stretches of hedges, lovely patterns in the hedges. It's tremendous. You know, just when I think I have made my way around this garden, I've noticed I haven't even scratched the surface of it. Imagine having this as your garden. I definitely could spend a lot longer here in this garden, just walking around, just chillaxing, that's even a word, relaxing, and just, you know, enjoying life, enjoying my own company. However, time is a cracking. My tummy is rather hungry right now, and my feet, they've walked a lot these last couple of days here in Paris. Like yesterday I walked about 21,000 steps. I think right now I'm already hitting 15,000, so, and then you've got to count, this is the 4th day of the trip, and I've done at least over 15,000 every single day. As much as I would like to see every tree that's been carved and shaped into some funny pattern, it looks like what some people do to poodles sometimes, which I guess they're also French, so it must just be a French thing. Anyways, I wish I could go see every single one in this garden, but I'm just too tired. And that is Paris. Thank you guys for joining me on this vlog. This vlog was, God, I've packed a lot into the itinerary for this city, but I hope that showed you what you can possibly get done on a 2-day itinerary. Obviously there was a couple things I have missed, like I didn't get to go into the Louvre. Obviously it's quite expensive, and I am having to try to save my budget for an entire 2 months, not just a trip to Paris. So I think if I came back, the Louvre will definitely be like #1 on my hit list, which makes me sound like I'm going to steal the Mona Lisa. No, I mean it'll be the top priority the next time I come to visit Paris. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I will definitely be coming back to Paris. Paris is insane. I thought that the city was going to be quite overrated, and here are my overall thoughts. It gets the love because I think it quite frankly deserves the love. Every street I've walked down, I'm just like, blown away with the architecture, with how it's, you know, it's quite a clean city as well. I think there's a lot of misconceptions on Paris. One of them is that it's quite dirty. That's why like Ratatouille and all that was said here. You know, the rats I have seen too, but you know, I think there's this perspective that Paris is quite grim, quite dark at night, lots of pickpockets around. You know, I've actually felt quite safe here in Paris. There is certain areas you just got to watch out, maybe put my camera away and stuff, but majority of the time I maybe just put my bag down and just take lots of good content, and that's the way I've really enjoyed Paris. Also, the misconception on Parisians being rude. I have not encountered any rude people on the metros, out and about. I think everyone has been giving me a nice smile, walking, getting on with their day, you know. It's just like any other big city, which I think you've got to realise if you are out there sightseeing big cities. There's people that are not, there's people that live in there trying to get through their day-to-day lives, and we kind of just get in the way of that. Majority of the people have been quite nice, have been speaking to me, but I do feel like I am ready to move on. The hustle and bustle does get a bit overwhelming at times, so I'm ready to leave Paris and head on to my next destination, which hopefully I don't have to go in the metros anymore. This is one thing I've not mentioned to you guys. The metros kind of terrify me here in Paris, and it's only because of one thing: the font that they use on the metro sign. Literally look at it right now, guys. That is the most gothic, horrific, terrifying metro sign I've ever seen, and I'm always scared that I'm going to go downstairs and there's going to be some kind of like zombie apocalypse happening down there just because of the grim sign upstairs. Paris, you've got to make your got to make yourself a bit more fitting to the city of romance, because that is not a romantic sign whatsoever. But anyways, I am going to be leaving Paris, so please stay tuned to the next video if you want to see where I'm heading to next. Like this video if you did find it useful and it's made you want to visit Paris yourself, and subscribe, because Interrailing, we're still in the beginning of this trip and there's so much more to do. So catch you all later. Peace out, guys. Bye.
Why can't we be friends? If it's so much easier before we got our feelings hurt, and I can't pretend that it's easy. Why